A mid-season teaser for Sister Wives was just released, revealing the activities of the Brown family by the end of the season. Among other things, Kody Brown makes a contentious statement in the latest teaser that may surprise some fans. He yells about a cheating wife during an impending tell-all moment with Suki, without giving away the whole situation. The tension between the Brown family and its previous members has increased as a result of the numerous events they have experienced. The trailer also emphasizes the strained ties within the Brown family. Is Kody revealing a true betrayal? Or is this just another conflict stemming from miscommunication and bitterness from the past? Continue reading to learn more. Kody Brown has recently had to face his feelings about his relationship with his kids. Robyn maintains that Christine and Janelle are to blame in the most recent episode. She asserted that they have a negative perception of Kody because of their influence. Over time, she informs Kody, hurt feelings and misunderstandings have increased. Additionally, she thinks that the children were impacted by the frustrations of Kody's ex-partners and their moms. As he talks about his relationship with his children, Kody becomes emotional. He remembers wanting to make amends with his own father prior to his passing. As the argument with his children resurrected old wounds, he came to this realization. Robyn claims that because polygamous parents split their focus across the whole family, they frequently ignore their kids. She also thought back to her own past with her biological father, who frequently ignored her. In the mid-season trailer, Kody makes a big accusation and raises his voice during the impending tell-all. Your other wife tells you that your wife is having an affair, he yells. I'm in charge of that. Although it's unclear who Kody was actually referring to, this implies a serious accusation. In addition to this assertion, the trailer once more highlights the consequences of the Koya Pass sale. Kody says he gained a great deal of clarity as a result of the conflict's emotional burden. When discussing his 3 ex-wives with cameras, he says he wants to set them free. Later on, Christine informs her husband, David Woolley, that Kody is trying to make amends. However, she questions Kody's sincerity in spite of his assertions. After years of fighting, she acknowledges that she no longer has much trust. Soon later, Kody was spotted with David and Christine. He tells them to suck those beers down in an attempt to start a conversation. However, Christine became defensive after he expressed regret for claiming he didn't love her. She cautions him that now is not the right time. When Janelle learns of the apologies, she looks horrified, and Meri presents Ron, a new romantic interest. Meri even casts doubt on Kody's tone and sincerity, claiming that his apologies are unaccountable. Suki tells Christine at the end of the trailer that Kody regrets calling her ugly. On Sister Wives, the Brown family has weathered many storms, but nothing has unsettled fans as much as Kody Brown's most recent admission. A guy who has long advocated for multiple marriage, loyalty, and spiritual bonding has now let fans in on a controversy so explosive that it may forever change their perception of the family's history. One of Kody's ex-wives allegedly cheated on him years before their marriages fell apart. The charge is serious because it goes right to the core of what the Brown family used to say they stood for: mutual respect, trust, and cooperation. These principles are now being called into question as Kody reveals information he claims he concealed in order to maintain the family image. However, secrets are never truly hidden. Furthermore, this fresh accusation could rekindle old wounds that have never completely healed, as emotions between the ex-wives are already high. The entire history of the Brown family can be altered by this incident. Kody's disclosure. A broken truth at last uncovered. Kody's reputation has suffered during the last few seasons. Christine departed. Janelle went out. Meri went out. Even Robyn, who was once steadfast in her support, has exhibited signs of impatience. Fans started to wonder if Kody's leadership was ever as strong as he claimed as the family disintegrated piece by piece. However, he has now boldly and controversially changed the story among the ashes of 4 failed marriages. Kody recently disclosed that one of his ex-wives had cheated on him during their several marriages in an interview for promotional material related to the evolving Sister Wives plot. He implied that the affair was emotional in nature, without naming her specifically, but the inference was clear. The Brown family had been betrayed long before the cameras ever recorded their demise. According to Kody, the adulterous affair was kept under wraps to spare the implicated wife from humiliation and to prevent a fight that could harm the kids. However, he maintains that there is no point in protecting lies anymore, because the family is already largely alienated. The shockwave is echoing throughout the fandom, regardless of his motivation, closure, retaliation, or a last-ditch effort to recover his story. What wife is he referring to? Supporters conjecture crazily despite Kody's refusal to identify the ex-wife in question. Fans are still engrossed in conjecture. The number of online forums and groups that reviewed previous episodes, body language, and suspicious situations quickly skyrocketed. As many noted, long before she left, one wife seemed emotionally checked out. Another frequently spoke of a close male friend. Another had gone to an out-of-state retreat during a difficult time. An additional had voiced intense dissatisfaction years before departing. With the support of statements, videos, and minor clues that, in retrospect, appear much more important, the theories gained traction swiftly. But for the time being, at least until further information becomes available, the truth is still hidden. The fact that the ex-wives have not publicly responded to the accusation only serves to heighten the rumors. The void left by their silence just encourages greater conjecture. Some fans think Kody's charge is just an effort to shift the responsibility away from his own behavior. After all, every ex-wife has disclosed difficult aspects of their union, such as emotional manipulation and desertion. Some see Kody's decision to draw attention to an alleged affair as a calculated distraction. Others, however, believe that the cheating scandal may actually exist and that the Brown family concealed it to maintain the plural marriage story for the audience. An already dying marriage, the betrayal timeline according to Kody, the affair took place amid a tumultuous period in the family's history. He claimed that the infidelity was a sign of deeper wounds, loneliness, and emotional neglect rather than just a moment of weakness. He claims that the secret persisted for months after the ex-wife got consumed in an emotional relationship outside the marriage. He says he didn't realize it until he came across communications that made the bond's nature clearly unacceptable. Kody, the ex-wife, and the other women were forced to face the unpleasant reality that the family ideal they presented to the outside world had already shattered as a result of this revelation, which caused a private crisis within the family. According to Kody, they looked for spiritual direction, family mediation, and counseling. However, the emotional harm didn't just go away. The trust was broken even if the affair was prevented. Kody claims he found it difficult to mend a relationship that had been damaged long before the affair started, and the wife in question withdrew emotionally. The silent animosity, emotional distance, and tense exchanges that viewers witnessed on television now have a deeper significance. This unspoken marital wound might have contributed to some of the coldness, distance, and sudden behavioral changes. The responses of the wives, hidden tension, shock, and silence insiders claim that some of the ex-wives were not surprised by the discovery, even though none of them have publicly addressed the allegation of infidelity. A few women allegedly contacted the wife in question in private years ago, according to production-related sources. Others were merely aware of the bare facts. But the silence is what counts right now. The claim has not been refuted by any of the ex-wives. Nobody has stood up for Kody. Nobody has come forward to provide an explanation. Fans are delving deeper into the tense past these women share because of this lack of response. Jealousy and unequal attachment had already caused the plural marriage to become tense. Emotional or not, an affair might have easily increased animosity and deepened divisions that were already challenging to reconcile. It is certain that the infidelity scandal changed internal family relations long before the public was aware of it, even though the complete tale may never be known. Does the family split get redefined by this? Fans take everything into account up until now. Kody has been portrayed as the failing leader, the spouse who emotionally left many wives for Robyn. The wives' departure from him appeared to be a logical and justifiable development.